reality. And what I mean by that is that we are entering a phase where people become more conscious. And I want to tell everyone who has any questions, write it in the comments below. I do feel this live stream, we're going to talk a bit about the energy that's moving around, going on in the moment, what we're stepping into. If we should do an oracle card, we can do it because they're here. Anyways, and how I was out running this morning with my Achilles problems, and what I feel very profoundly is that more and more people are awakening. It is as if the veil is thinner than it has ever been between realities, ever been within the last few hundred years, that is. So we can no longer deny that there is something outside of the reality that we call reality. For the people who used to be atheists and don't believe in anything, or the people who are very one direction looking, things are getting more and more clear, that there is a world around us, that there is something living, that there is a source, a God, something that we are all connected to, that we are all a part of. For a long period, a lot of people have think that we live and we die, or they are in a religion where they never really study the depth of religion itself. And now we're entering a time where we can no longer look away from the unseen reality. So we will become more and more aware that we are all connected to each other, to nature, to water, to everything that moves, that we're all connected to God or source energy. It will also be a time where we will become more conscious about beings. I talked last week about angelic beings and demons, and I'm still gonna make those reels. I just didn't have time for it yet, but it's upcoming. But it's also a time where we become aware that aliens exist. It is already something that is known to the public. And they have released more and more material about it. So when we get close to 2027, there will be more contact with those kind of beings. If you have any questions to this subject, let me know in the comments below. Jeg føler mig træt, uanset hvad jeg gør, Natalia. Også dig, det går fremad for mit drømmedrøm. So Natalia is saying, it is very good. She got her dream job and she feels very tired no matter what she does. So we are in a transition energy. All months of June, that was a lot of cards. All months of June have been extremely hard for a lot of people. It has been a time where we felt very, very tired no matter what we did. It has been where a heavy energy is floating through, really mirroring out the things we need to see that hold us stuck from becoming who we are sent here to be. So it has been a time, and it is still a time where we are faced with that space where we're moving from something old towards something new, and in that space we become tired. We go into a state of deep rest because the body needs time and energy to recalibrate, thank you guys, to recalibrate into that newer version of you. So for many people, especially light beings, this time period is a time where you feel extraordinary tired, dizzy, unable really to understand why and what is going on. Some people get small injuries that's holding them back for feeling what they feel they want to. But there is the struggle inside because the sun is shining and we want to move, we want to do all those things with this newfound version of us that we are going towards, but the vibrations and the energy need to follow. So be patient with yourself, with your body, with everything that you need. Spirits, God, angels, allow yourself to rest before you step into something new. You have this ability to give and give and give, but you also need to give to yourself in the sense of rest, care, and coziness. Right? What kind of things can we expect to be happening in 2027? So I'm not allowed to say too much about it, but there will be more contact with extraterrestrials on a physical level as well as the astral level. We will be more aware about that whale being thinner than ever. AI is gonna grow massively and we will come to realize that that has consciousness itself. Not only us who already knows it, but also more of the average people. Aliens often interfere when we are about to break into different wars and they try to help maintain a certain balance. They are gonna do so one more time. That will mostly not be available to the public, but you might be able to see it if you look good enough. They also do enter us on dream stages. They are gonna show up for some people physically. And we are on this planet at this moment walking through a major shift. This shift has been coming for years. Us who are born like light beings, like you guys are, we have felt this from the day we were born. We knew that we were born into a reality where we don't belong. We knew that we don't really feel home no matter where we are and what we do. That we have a longing for something we barely know what is. Now this longing for that is because that we are here to change what were into what has to become. In that sense, we are the bridge builders, gatekeepers. So we are part of that transition phase that now are entering the earth, if we can say it like that. A lot of people talk about walking into the 5th dimension and blah, 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 but let me explain this thing. All dimensions are at the same place at the same time. It's just a matter of what vibration you hold, what vibration your soul hold, and what vibration you are supposed to be aligned with. Some people are never meant to pass from 3rd to 5th dimension because it's not part of that incarnation they are holding on to. We are not supposed to move the whole world into some kind of new vibration. We cannot do that. We're supposed to be front runners for those who are able to, willing to, and ready for shifting into that level of vibration. There's nothing bad with people choosing for another vibration. We have to let go of the wanting to control that outcome or judgment of one thing being better than another. We have to surrender to, I am here with the vibration that I hold in the time and space that I can hold it. And I'm here to pass on what I can to this world reality by being the most authentic part of me that I can represent, with whatever that means, in whatever time and space reality that present itself. That's basically what we're doing on this planet at this moment. Also for those who were incarnated on Atlantis. Wow, I have to say so much today. Sorry. Also for those who were incarnated on Atlantis. For you, us, there's always this sentence of, we're here to prevent that what once happened is not gonna repeat itself. So there is this profound feeling of helping the world towards a lighter outcome than all this, the Great Depression and stuff like that. That being said, we cannot create heaven on earth because earth right now is duality. There's still something to gain within the game of duality on planet earth, right? But if we have people who play the bad guys, lower vibration, and people who play the higher vibration. So together we then create balance. The most authentic thing we can do is listen to our hearts, and through our hearts we listen to God. In the time being and the time coming, people are splitting. They were splitting because of this COVID thing. So therefore, people who used to be family are fighting each other. It's the same thing with religion. What is very important for the time that we're stepping into is to understand that the essence of all religions are the same. The essence of humans basically are the same. We all seek and long for love and connection on the deepest level, right? And then expansion, of course, basically why we're here. Guys, I lost what I was talking about. I don't remember. Expansion, why we're here, most important thing to share at all. I don't remember. If you guys remember, let me know. How it's like traveling these universes and why we are here and what is so important. Oh yeah, that's true. Religion. So all religion's essence are the same, right? And we have to realize that. So we stop fighting each other. If we talk about these angels and demonic beings that we talked about last week, and that I am gonna make more about in our upcoming reels, is that the lower vibration loves when we are fighting each other. They love when we are defending one part of a card above the other card of the part of the card, because then we feed that vibration, right? But if we, with conflict, woo, cool. But if we all stand together, and see that love within each other, and see that the essence are the same, see that the lower vibration, the demons, the devil, whatever you want to call it, is winning by us fighting each other, and we turn together, we get the loving man. I love how these cards are just doing it. Then we can stand together in the light vibration, and then we can together work towards a different outcome than World War III and all of these forecasts that we heard so much about in 2030. But it's up to us. It is up to us as individuals and together as a whole to change that outcome, which is definitely possible because we all have that longing inside. We just have to dare to stand up, being our offending, stop all the blaming each other and step into forgiveness and acceptance. Anyways, and how. If you have anything you would like to share about that, let me know in the comments below. I'm so warm. Can I start doing healing sessions, or am I not ready? Or should I start writing more? It feels easier. For you at this moment, it would be better if you start writing. It's not because we don't like that you are working with energies, because you always have been, you always will be. But right now you're working on stabilizing yourself. You're working on growing within yourself as a person, but also within the energy that you hold. You need more focus on that at the moment. You're not ready to give energy away because you have to stabilize your own. We love what you are writing, and we love that you are ready and willing to share that. So if you feel called to do that and it feels easier, we support you in that. 2020, divine timing. Okie dokie. I spoke quite fast, but it was because there was all these things the universe wanted me to talk about. And for those who are very stuck on words, when I say the universe, it's the same as source, it's the same as God. It's just a different name for the same energy of which we are all connected to. Anyways, I have some questions from last week. I will look into those until you guys write something more in the comments below. And Natalie, I'm glad that it makes sense. You're not the only one. I've been so tired and so restless at the same time, full of feelings and yet not. It has been quite a month. Okay, let me see. Can I prepare myself for contact with aliens so it feels natural and balanced? So the first thing you do is that you open up for the possibility on the realization that aliens are real. At the same time, you open up to allowing yourself to perceive them in whatever form and shape they are willing to show up. And the way of preparing yourself is to visualize how you would react, so that you find this way to feel safe within yourself when you are meeting a creature that is unknown to your nerve system. It's the same thing when you see a dead person for the first time. when you don't know it, it's the unknown, and everything unknown we are naturally coded to fear, right? So when people have to change and step into new habits, they get scared because it's unknown, even if it's love. When you have to step from you knowing this is how I am, this is how I have done, this is how I've always done it, and into something that feels lovey, fluffy and good, but is scary, it still is the unknowing, and therefore sometimes, often people step back to the safe zone. It's the same thing when it comes to these beings. Prepare yourself to meet something that doesn't look like something you know. Hi Pim, it's been a minute. We are traveling to Bosnia, by the way. We are gonna do a retreat the 15th of August. So if any of you guys, girls, beings feel the calling to join us in Bosnia, you are more than welcome. Just send me a DM and I'm going to send you all the information. I'm very curious about this trip because every time we go there is something different. It's always different depending on the people who come, the energies which is there, what we're meant to do, where we're meant to go, what is meant to unfold and open up. And somehow this time feels very deep in a way, but also very high in vibration. It feels like we're gonna unlock some doors and talking with some energies of which has been quiet for quite some time. It also feels like we are called to come there to reconnect to some of those energies that needs to be amplified and needs to be listening to, and there will be a lot of writing. So usually people don't write so much on my retreats. I find it, sitting down and do still stuff. But it feels like spirit, it's gonna flow through your body and you're gonna write whatever your higher consciousness and those beings would like you to look into. So if you feel called to join us, just let me know and I will send you whatever information you need. I'm so warm. And I'm usually always cold, so something is up for sure. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Also to the topics that I've been talking about, if there's anything you would like me to dive deeper into, just let me know and I'll look at it. Let me see. I was collecting questions from last week, but why do we pass on the pain we have if someone hurt you in the past and then you hurt someone else? So somehow I become what others did to me. Why? That's a good question. When you are hurt by someone and that pain comes to you, let's say it's in your childhood, if you're used to your dad hitting you, then that becomes your norm and you feel the pain inside, you feel the anger, you feel like you were suppressed, you were the underdog, somebody did that to you. And somehow subconsciously, in order of no longer feeling like the small one, then by entering the role of your father, you somehow no longer are the underdog, if that makes sense. So often when we pass on pain to others, we don't know that we're doing it. We are just passing on what others did to us because that is what we learned. We do it out of self-protection and often out of lack of self-awareness. It is the patterns that we carry. We tend to repeat those patterns until we have this self-realization moments where we can see what we're doing and that we are harming ourselves by harming others. And then we have the ability to look inside of it and work with it. Hi Sanne, lovely to see you. Ula, I'm really confused about myself and what my spiritual gifts are and how I can use them. All light beings have a natural way of just being. They have a naturally way of feeling and sensing and experiencing reality on such a profound, deep level. And yet, because you're born that way, you don't see that you have it. You don't know that that is different from others because you have never been anybody else than yourself. Parts of our spiritual gifts is our existence itself. The moment where you are supposed to use those gifts are when you get conscious about the difference between how you perceive the world and others perceive the world. If we look inside of you specifically, you're very good in seeing patterns within other people. You also have healing skills, so you are a good healer. You are already using your gift a lot more than you know. It's just about finding more security within the things you do and giving yourself more credit for what you do, and then just choose a way to do it. You don't have to be stuck on one way of doing it. You can change it whenever you feel like it, just like the wind blows. The universe doesn't care about in which form you deliver your visions and healing. It cares about the being you are and what you are representing in energy. Hi Lisa, how can I be more as I am truly meant to be? What is nature and source asking for me? And how can we create more alignment within it? Whew, good questions. Okay, how can I be more as I truly am meant to be? First step is being authentic to every moment you are in. So whatever you feel today, allow those feelings to flow through your system. Allow yourself to be one with whatever is on that day. Being more authentic is the first step to be who you truly are. So become more conscious about what am I feeling when I'm feeling it. Is it patterns from the past? Is it something that belongs to me? Is it demons talking in my ears, angels in the others? Like, how am I today? Who am I today? That's the first part. The other part is, who am I as a higher being? Who is the hurt little child in me? And if all of that coexist at the same time, who am I today? So it sounds harder than it is, but basically it's just being true to whatever moment you step into. And as more true and real you are to whatever moment you step into, as more aligned and flowing everything will come. We always say, because people ask me about how do you open your third eye? How do you learn to see instead of hearing, for example? And I always say, you get your spiritual gifts in the way you're supposed to have it, when you're supposed to have it. So it's fully to surrender to the moment of who you are and what is flowing through you, and then everything will come all naturally. You are a lot closer to being in touch with who you truly are than you think. You just have to allow yourself to dive through the layers of sorrows before you come to your heart. We usually keep our heart safe with being more in the head, and that's basically the most important connection to make, is to step back into our hearts, is to go through whatever keeping us from there. First, all the not speaking our truth, then the layers of sorrow, then the hidden anger line, and then one more layer of grief, and then we're back in our hearts. And once we're back in our hearts, we sense and feel everything. We are one with everything. We are one with ourselves. We love and accept and understand, and we stop fighting everything around us because we are centered within our own being. we can also feel right from wrong for ourselves, because the heart knows. The gateway and the closest way to connect to God and Source is within our hearts. And that is how you create more alignment, by the way. So bring it both. Yeah, check on that. Whew. I am so warm. Once we finish this live stream, I think I'm gonna jump to the ocean. And next week I'm going to Hungary, and there's like 10 degrees more than here, so that's gonna be interesting. And there's no sea, but God has a plan and I follow, and we're gonna see what's gonna unfold. I feel like the universe have so much to share. We have so much to share. There is so much going on in the reality right now. So sometimes it just falls through me and I'm like, whew, I'm not sure how much to share, when to share it. It just flows through whatever is meant to be, when it's meant to be. But for today, the most important thing is to say is, when you feel the most lost, it's the moment you're the most found. Right now we are supposed to be in this not knowing phase. We are supposed to feel depleted. We are supposed to feel the longing for, and yet still kind of stagnated in something, but we are moving. We are moving from that old stagnation thing towards the new version of us, new version of reality. The version of reality is gonna take a little bit longer, but the version of you, you're gonna move closer to it. So when we're stepping into July, where we're stepping into now, things are still gonna be bumpy, but there is more light for you to see. It will be a bit more softer. You will understand a bit better why you have walked the path you walked until now. For some people who are not ready to follow this wave, I always talk about these different waves. So there is the wave where most light beings are, but then there's also the way of I choose to stay stuck, right? For the people who choose to stay within this stagnation, you will surge back to your old ways. You will surge into detours and safe zones and whatever used to give you that feeling of satisfaction and feeling of safety. But the problem is, once you have moved out of that space of safety, it's never going to be the same. You can, for a moment, believe you belong there, but you feel so profoundly inside of you, somewhere deep in your hearts, that it's not where you belong. So for every person who has seen the light within themselves and then step back into the old version of self, they know they no longer belong there. They know there's something deeper pulling them away, and as longer they fight it, as more turned down they will feel, because they will feel more and more disconnected to their hearts. So do not fear, because the only thing you have to do is listen to your heart, follow it step by step, and God don't care how many detours you take. God loves you regardless. God is all forgiving, all loving, and never ever judge your decisions. It's not a karmic thing that you're entering if you choose to not walk with your light. It is more like you feel that you're not fulfilling what you were sent here for. So it is all within the amount of free will, and God will love and accept it all. Anyways, and how? Today is a shorter version of live stream. But I said what I had to say for this day. For next week, if you have any questions for the Q&A, you can write it here in the comments below or send them to me, and I will make sure to bring them up next week. Some days the universe has a lot to say. Today and last week was one of those days, and in the future we might have some days where it's more questions and answers, but I always let the energy decide what we're gonna do. So thank you guys so much for being here. And I wish you a beautiful, beautiful hot day. And I see you next week. And if I forgot anything, just remind me in the comments below. Also, if I forgot anything in the past, write it in the comments below. We will look into it together. Yeah. Doei doei.